My name is Josh Markovich. I'm one of the teaching assistants here at the McLean Golf School. And today we're going to talk about step one, or the takeaway part of our swing. So first off, what is these steps that we're talking about? Well, Jim, being the great instructor that he is, has broken down the swing into 8 separate parts so that we can focus on and to teach the golf swing and to break up that one fluid motion of the swing into little bits of sections or positions that we can get into to help us create a more effective, better golf swing. So what is step one? Step one is the takeaway. The first 2.5 to 3 feet we take the club back. So what's going on in this step? Well, let's work from the ground up. So when we take the club back, let's see what our feet's doing. Our feet are still lined up to the target line, and our weight's beginning to go to our right leg. Our knees, they're still slightly flexed in the same position as before, and our right knee is going to stay flexed. It's not going to straighten or buckle. It's just going to stay flexed, and that's going to help brace our weight once we get further into the swing. Our hips haven't necessarily turned yet, but they are going to start to turn a little bit. The club itself is still between our arms. It's not way outside of our arms where the face is going to be really open or really shut. It's still in between our arms, and that's going to be important. So what are the things we need to try to avoid in step one? One of the things we need to avoid, something we call a death move, is going to be freezing over the golf ball. So what do I mean by freezing over it? Well, we set up to the ball and we just stay still. There's no movement, no sort of bounce or anything to get us going. Like if we have a pail of water that we're going to try to swing, we're not going to swing it from a little bit of a standstill. We're going to throw it back a little bit, then swing, so we have a little bit of momentum. We need something to help trigger our golf swing. And that's what the best players in the world do. They use something called micro moves. Now there's a number of different micro moves that people use. They either have a wrist press, Jason Day has his waggles, or Daniel Berger or Matthew Wolf, they have a little bit of the hip rotation kind of towards the target, and then they go. Just anything that could really get you triggered to get you moving. That's what we want to have happen. We don't want to have you freeze over the ball. Another thing that we are trying to avoid is we're sucking the club back very, very to the inside. We don't want to go too far inside or too far outside. Those are outside of our corridors of success. Now what is those? Those are the safety zones. Those are the zones where we could still be in and we still can hit good golf shots. But if we go too far inside, we're going to have a tendency to come over the top. If we go too far outside, we're going to have a tendency to come too far from the inside. And so, what are the things we can do to work on step one? When it comes to working on step one, there's a great drill is we take our club, 7-iron, 9-iron, something like that. We grip the club how we normally would. We just grip it on either the steel or the graphite, whatever kind of clubs you have. And we put the butt end of the grip, so this end, either in our belt buckle or our belly button. And we're just going to try to take a little bit of tiny swings and make sure that butt of the club stays attached to our belly button or our belt buckle. Now if we use too much hands in the takeaway, we're going to see it come off. If we don't rotate, we'll see it come off. And so this is going to train us to use our big muscles in our takeaway, and that's what we want to have happen. So we're going to have the butt of the club in our belt buckle, grip the club how we normally would, and then just make a few tiny swings. Make sure our weight's beginning to shift a little bit towards our right side, keeping that knee flexed, and our hips are going to barely start to turn a little bit right here. That's a great way to work on step one. Do you guys have any questions or comments, concerns? Thank you.